Not really sure what I was going for with this hair, but this is what we have to work with today. Just making myself presentable, but we have to do just gotta run to Target quick. I haven't been to Target in a very long time, but we need just like basic house stuff, toilet paper, paper towels, I need micellar water, etc, etc. And also I want to smell one of the Finery perfumes. Pistachio, please. So we're gonna head out to Target, pick up some stuff, I gotta get gas. Boring things, you know? Let's go. So we may be having a visitor today, and therefore, of course, spent yesterday doing a ton of cleaning in the house. And look how, like, tidy the kitchen is right now. You maybe know what my kitchen usually looks like. A disaster. It's messy, especially this little guy right here. It's always just like collecting shit. And so I cleaned it. I cleaned it right on up. Initially, this was a tea drawer and I had all my tea in here. But I took my tea out and I found a spot in a cupboard for it. And now this is the dog stuff. Walking pouches, treats, poop bags, etc, etc. Various loose off-leash dog deterrents, winter items, treats, all very important things to have for the dogs. And now it doesn't look like such a disaster there. I feel like it's just the less clutter, you know? Just looks nicer, makes you feel nicer. Jacketed up, ready to go. I have my list. Might be a couple little extra things on there, but it's a secret for you and me. Also, I've decided that I need like a spring jacket type thing, because the only one I have is this, and it's like just a straight on pullover. And sometimes that's annoying. Sometimes I just want like a little doo-doo. And then I thought maybe I could try to make one, but that might require a little bit more research first to see if that's something I could even do myself without making it ugly, but we'll talk about that later maybe. For now, let's go get our groceries. It's colder out than I was thinking it was. Now my hands are really cold in my car. Less heated seats though. I got those bad boys up on high. Lights on, it's dark out. She's unforgettable. Take a look at yourself, cause that's what you need to do. Cause you're the problem in this room is value, cause you're a liar. Liar, yeah. Even though I live here now, gas stations, American gas stations are like such a vibe. Like, I don't know how to describe it, like what I'm thinking. They're just like their own fun thing, you know? That doesn't make any sense to anyone probably, but American gas stations are a vibe and that's all. We have arrived at the Target. I got my favorite spot. I haven't been here in a very long time. We're going to stick to the list, okay? We're going to try our very best to stick to our list. We're not going to get extras. I'm going into the home goods side. We're just going to look. We're not going to buy anything, okay? We can do this. I believe in us. Let's go. Haven't even made it to the list. I failed already. It's okay. I spent $150. Back from the grocery store, spent too much money. A couple places where I went wrong was I kept remembering little things that we were out of. And I was like, oh, well, it's cheap here at Target. I'll grab it. And all those little things, they just add up. And not to mention toilet paper and paper towels. All those things add up real fast. And also, I just needed to grab a little bag of potting mix for my Zanny because her roots are starting to just like poke up a little too much. I feel like she needs to be in a bigger pot, but I'm not entirely sure. We'll just top her up for now and see what happens. Are we interested in a grocery haul? Let's run through it real quick. That was everything I got, not including the paper towels, the toilet paper, which is still in my car because I only have 2 hands. But I one-tripped all of these groceries. That was pretty fun. I am comically excited about my Dino Nuggets. I just really wanted Dino Nuggets, okay? I'm such a sucker for a fun drink as like a little sweet treat. I was good though. I avoided getting the like lavender green tea thing from Starbucks, which looks so pretty and I'm sure it tastes nice. And I saw this strawberry passion. I'm assuming it's strawberry passion fruit. And it sounded really nice. You know, prebiotic, probiotic, sparkling drink. I like that kind of stuff. I think it's time to get rid of the fish milk. Bye-bye, fish milk. Let's just ignore the spaghetti stain, okay? I forgot to pre-treat before I washed last time, but I'll remember this time. Because Tide Laundry Stain Remover is the GOAT. The greatest of all time. So we went to Grant's mom's house for dinner yesterday, Easter dinner, and she gave us little Easter bags. I was very happy. I'm gonna show you what we got in them. Lindt mini eggs. I didn't even know that they made mini eggs, and I'm very excited to eat these bad boys. Little carrot-shaped chocolates. Oh, so cute! 2 Cadbury cream eggs. I haven't had a Cadbury cream egg in freaking years, and I just remember them being so insanely sweet. So, preparing myself for that, and I know it's gonna be great. And then a little package of Ferrero Rochers. How cute! So cute! I love Easter. Easter treats, I should say. I don't even really know what the whole religious affiliation of Easter is. I don't really know what it is. Something about Jesus being rizzed up. What was I just gonna say? Yeah. I don't remember. Oh yeah, I saw a video on Instagram that somebody made, and she was like storming out of her mom's house, and she was like, my mom doesn't love me anymore. And the mom comes out the door and she says, I never said that. I said 30 is too old for an Easter basket. And then the girl leaving is like, same thing. And that's exactly how I feel. It's just nice. Anyway, so today, I feel like I need breakfast, but I don't really know what I want to eat yet, so we'll just ignore the hunger for the moment. I've been sewing, working on my jumpsuit. I'll show you what I have going on so far. So I'm doing Zadie jumpsuit, and so far I have like the bodice mostly put together. It's looking good. I finally decided what to have for breakfast. Toast, one with an egg, and one with a little bit of butter and blackberry jam. If anybody else buys Bon Maman preserves, jam, whatever you want to call it, why has it gone up in price by $2 a jar? Why? And also, why is raspberry always out of stock? It's the best one, but I can never find it. I had to buy blackberry. It's not as good. It's still good, but it's not as good. Well, you know what? All I've done basically is just work on my jumpsuit, and I'm gonna save that for just a different video all on its own, because if you don't wanna watch the sewing content, then you can just skip the entire video. But today, I figured we're gonna wrap this video up with all of the books that I have read this year so far. A lot. And by read, I mean listened to on Audible, because I need to listen to things at work or I go crazy because it's repetitive and boring. And listening to audiobooks is really fun and nice. I have an Audible membership where I get 1 credit every 2 months, so basically like a free book. And then most of the time I just listen to books that are included in my membership that don't usually use a credit. Obviously I use my credits, but I just listen to a lot of the free books, and honestly, I have a really good time doing it. Although, there's nothing worse than when you're in the middle of a series and you're like almost caught up and there's like 3 or 4 books left, and then those ones are not included in the membership anymore. You have to actually use a credit on those. That makes me a little bit sad, because audiobooks are like 30 bucks plus, and if I was paying for all of these individually, I would be broke. So I went into my little listening history thing on the website and I found everything that I've listened to in 2024, starting from the beginning. Well, I was deep in the middle of the Hannah Swenson murder mystery series. I made a vlog a couple months ago, maybe like last summer, when I went to Barnes & Noble and I saw these books, and it was like carrot cake murder, lemon meringue pie murder, and I was like, oh, those are so cute. And then it turns out majority of those are free on Audible, like included with the membership. So I've been diving deep into those, and I hate it and I love it all at the same time. Like, these books infuriate me. The writer's always talking about how Hannah, the baker, she's just so fat. Like, oh my God, if only she could lose a few pounds and maybe she'd get a husband. And like a lot of very old-fashioned views, kind of getting the vibe of that, but I still, I can't stop listening. It's just very like old-fashioned. And I was like, well, were these books written in the 40s? Like, it's just really bizarre. And also it just happens to be set in a small town in Minnesota, which I thought was really cute, and I enjoyed it. So I read the shit out of those, or listened to the shit out of those, and they're really fun. So if you don't mind a bit of like a stupid read, really obvious murders all the time, but like that's part of the charm. It's just a very charming series, easy to listen to just put on and like do other things, aka bake at work. There's a couple books left that are not included, so I need to wait for credits or for them to be included in the membership. But that's where we got up to with that. I think there's like 27 books or something, and I'm on book 24. So then, once I realized those credits were not included, we moved on to other free books that were included, and we went on to She Lies Close. Now it's so funny because like I can look at titles of a book and not at all, like 90% of the time, remember what the book is about in any way, shape, or form. Like I read She Lies Close and I'm like, what the hell was that about? Oh yeah, okay. A compulsive debut thriller about motherhood, obsession, and how far we'd go to protect the ones we love. Yeah, okay. I remember that book. It was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not spoiling anything, okay? I'm not gonna spoil anything in any of these books. Or at least I don't think I'm going to. So then after that, I read a series, which is the Nils Shapiro detective series. I really like a lot of like thriller, detective series, murders, crimes, like that kind of thing. That's just generally mostly what I listen to. And this one was about, this series is about like a detective and happens to be in Minneapolis again as well, which I thought was really fun because the author includes a lot of like actual locations in Minneapolis. I'm like, I know where that is. I know it. And I don't know, I just found it really fun. I really enjoyed the series. It was good. It's short. It's only 4 books, I think it was. Gone to Dust, Broken Ice, The Shallows, and Dead West. Yeah, really interesting. The only annoying thing is that in the last book, the narrator is changed. And so like the voices that you've been used to listening to for the last 3 books are all of a sudden different. And you're like, what? And I hated it so much because he started to do this one man's voice really, really low to the point where I literally couldn't hear it in my headphones. This is another weird thing where if a book is narrated by a man, I'm much more likely to not listen to it, especially if I'm driving in my car. Like I can't turn it up loud enough to actually hear the man speaking without it hurting my ears because of just like trying to drown out road noise. And like, it's just a sensory thing, okay? My ears are just very sensitive and it's like there's too many low sounds happening, but I can't hear the man. It's a whole thing, okay? Still a good series, loved it. After that, we went on to The Game You Played. This book, the twist, the turn. I did not predict at all, and it was so much fun. I loved it. Let me give you a brief little beep beep. The Game You Played is by Annie Taylor, and there's this little boy, and he goes missing. The mother is just distraught. Shit goes crazy in life, and it just goes on from there. I feel like a lot of the time books can be kind of like predictable, and I'm like really able to pick up on like patterns of like storylines that are happening and then can easily kind of predict what's going to happen. But in this one, I really didn't. Not until after I was like, oh, I missed that. And it was just really good. Again, like a thriller type book. So good. I loved this one so much. Like I almost kind of want to listen to it again just to see if I pick up on things, you know what I mean? But I won't say anything else. The next book we listened to was The Final Hours, which was about like this lady moves to a new place to start a new job, etc., whatever. Somebody jumps off a building, is found dead, and then she has to try and figure out what went on, what happened. This one, I wasn't really invested. I had a hard time getting into it a little bit, and I don't know why, but I just kind of wanted to turn it off after the first like hour or two, but I kept listening to it. We went through it, and there was like a little twist at the end that I wasn't fully expecting, but maybe just because I wasn't really paying attention and I wasn't that invested in the book, so I don't know. It was still fun, good listen, wouldn't read it again. After that, I listened to a book called Ordinary Grace, which was about just like a young boy growing up. And I really loved this book. It's not the kind of thing that I think I would usually listen to, but I don't know. It's just like his dad was the preacher or like minister or whatever in the town, in like a small town. Yeah, I think it was also based in Minnesota. So one of the fun things that I enjoy. And yeah, just about like a young boy growing up and talking about things that happened in his life and murders that happened in the town and what went on with that. And it was pretty neat. I really liked that book a lot. And after that, I caught up with the D.I. Nikki Galena series, which is like a detective series based in the UK. And I'm up to like book 11 right now, and I really love it. Like I'm just such a sucker for like a cop series book. I don't know why. And I like that this one is a woman detective. I enjoy that. I think that's cool and fun. Is this interesting to anybody? Nobody cares. And then after I caught up with the G.I. Nikki Galena series, or at least what my credits could afford me, I listened to Tears of the Silenced, which was a memoir basically about a woman who was like forced into an Amish community and then grew up and was like, what the F, and like left the Amish community. It's really interesting. I honestly had no idea about like the corruption and stuff that like goes on or can go on in those kinds of communities, but it really makes sense. It was a really interesting read. It was sad. It's a little heavy. And they even say that like they edited out a lot of the like really, really heavy stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, like what did they leave out? Because so much bad shit's still left in. Anyway, a good read if you have any interest in like the drama in the Amish community. We have to drink our fun drink. Hello? Okay, I think the hubbub has died down a little bit. There was some drama. Dogs were playing. Amazon arrived. Barks ensued. Time for a sip of this strawberry passion, which I've already been sipping actually, and it's really good. I'm like so out of breath now. Grant and I were just trying to do young people dances. We're too old for that now. This is really good. A very good blend of passion fruit and strawberry. You know what it tastes like? It tastes like how my strawberry rhubarb perfume smells. In a good way, like a really nice way, because that perfume smells so good. Back to the list that no one asked for in the terrible book reviews, because I generally like anything and I don't actually know how to critique or, you know, actually thoughtfully analyze things. After Tears of the Silenced, I read or listened to An Inconvenient Woman, which was an interesting book. I liked that one a lot. Then I listened to The Cabin on Souter Hill, also a very good one. I enjoyed that one. A little spooky, a little bit mysterious. I like that. Little witchy vibes. It was cool. After that, I listened to It Began With a Lie, title alone. Don't remember what that was about at all, but I think I enjoyed it. And then I listened to The House in the Cerulean Sea, which people have just been raving about on all sorts of platforms. And I was like, okay. Audible told me my credits were going to expire, and so I got worried and I panic bought like 4 books, and that was one of them. And it was so cute. I love that book so much. I want to know more about all of those characters. Like I need like a 10-book series on that, please and thank you. It was so cute. And then after that, I listened to Remarkably Bright Creatures, which is another one that people have been raving about all over the place. Again, so cute. In the beginning, I'm like, how are all these stories gonna tie together? Are they going to tie together? Like what? Maybe it's just like a bunch of randoms, like I don't know. But I really enjoyed how it all tied up in the end. Very satisfying, very comfortable. I was like crying at some points, just at work, crying. I'm like rolling baguettes, tears coming down my face. It was so cute. Not like a lot, just like a little bit of a misty eye actually, but it was just a really cute book. And I thoroughly enjoyed that one of the characters, as like a narrator, is an octopus. I love that so much. And most recently, a book that I finished today was The Dressmakers of Auschwitz. And this was definitely a bit of a more somber read. Basically just about how a group of women came together because they had sewing skills of some sort, and how that kept them alive during the Holocaust and their time in concentration camps. Real story. So definitely a little bit of a bummer after the other books that I read that were really cute and charming, but still nonetheless a very interesting read, because there's definitely a lot of information included in that book about stuff that I didn't really know about. A very interesting read. I thoroughly enjoyed it. A little bit of history, a little bit of sadness, but important things to know, I think. So I enjoyed that book a lot. And that concludes everything that I have read / listened to up until this point. What is the date? It's April 4th right now. So we're like 4 months through, well, technically 3 months into the month, the year, 3 months into the year, and that's what I've done. I've read all those. If I were actually physically reading these books, there was no way I would get through them that fast. So, bless up Audible. Well, I hope that wasn't too boring, but I thought it would be fun to share the books that I read. I'm still mulling over book club because suddenly the idea of like being in charge of something freaked me out, and I was like, oh God, I can't do it. What are we gonna do? Oh, Jesus. And then I got worried that like, I don't know, I think just having unnecessary worries about things. So we'll see if I can get over that. Also in the same vein as that, every once in a while, I just find myself very overwhelmed with like the comments that you guys leave on my videos, but in a way where like, I read them, I always read your comments, every single one of them. And then sometimes I'm just like, and I get overwhelmed and I throw my phone away and I can't like respond. So please don't be like upset if I don't respond to your comments every single time, or if you don't even care, like if you're just like, I don't care if you respond to them or not, let me know so that I can feel a little bit less like panicked and weird about it. I do, obviously I read every single comment because there aren't many of them, so I can keep up with them very easily. But for some reason, responding to them scares me. So, because I'm 2 years old apparently. Be patient with me, I'm 9 years old. Anyways, that was my disastrous mess of book review of all the books that I have read so far this year. And by read, I mean listened to. This is delicious, by the way. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10, would buy again. 10 out of 10 would buy like a full case of. So good.